1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
Hey, here we are. Mike and John got it going on, coming to you from the Remax Platinum Building, courtesy of our friend Jordan Genso. And again, I hate to do this, but we have to start the show with bad news.
Uh-oh.
We had to suspend Cougar for a show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she was caught watching other podcasts and trying to bring some of those ideas.
Yeah.
It was stealing podcast signs.
We'll never
is
have
what
it.
she was doing. So we decided we're going to have to suspend her for a show.
Right.
She doesn't know it yet, but she's been suspended for today.
She won't be on the sidelines for our big game against Ohio State. Oh, wait.
That's 2
Oh, I'm
3
sorry.
weeks away.
Yeah.
It's Maryland this week, I believe.
Yeah.
That JH will be sitting somewhere, like in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into that today.
I have a feeling that they can handle Maryland.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they'll be. Of course, you never know. You don't want to take anything for granted. But,
No, you don't,
Yeah.
really. So
as a matter of fact, that whole HarbaughGate will be something we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about when we talk with Rich Perlberg later.
he's a personal friend of Jim Harbaugh, isn't he? No, he's not.
That's why it's called The Less You Know.
That's right. He knows him less than the most of us.
Absolutely.
Or something like that. So you survived the first week after the time change. Did it affect you much?
Other than the "I can't believe how dark it is this early" comments.
It's 4:30 and it's dark already.
Like, what
I feel
the-
like I should be in pajamas.
There was one, I think, like the Monday or Tuesday after, where I was like, "Oh, guys, I guess I'm ready for bed." Look, it's 7:30. I'm like, okay.
Why is Wheel of Fortune on so late?
I can't go to. I just cannot go to. No,
It's
even
just
though I
too
was
weird.
tired and I probably could have gone up to my bed and fallen asleep. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
The other things people are talking about these days is obviously it started like right before Halloween that you started seeing Christmas stuff for sale, decorations and wrappings and all the Christmas stuff.
Right, the stuff.
The stuff. Well, according to a survey by Coupon Birds,
Sure,
you've been to Coupon
Well,
Birds.
God, who
Does
hasn't?
anybody use coupons anymore?
All like digital ones,
coupons or a code. Yes. By the time Christmas Day rolls around, 30.8% of people reported disliking Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Now, when we worked in radio, when that song first came out,
Right.
we were like, wow, this is finally a new Christmas song.
Because of like 94, 93?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
It was, early mid-90s, and the song came out, it's like, oh, wow, thank goodness it's not Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer or,
Right.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. It was just something new, fresh, and for years and years and years, it got more popularity and finally hit number one. And now Mariah's doing the Christmas concerts
Right.
Around the country. I think she's even coming to the Fox Theater. But it's the I'm sick of hearing these songs, number one song when it comes to Christmas songs.
Right.
Jingle Bell Rock was number 2. Last Christmas by Wham, number 3.
That's okay in limited amounts, almost as a nostalgic thing, but not the whole song.
Well, Wham's not that. I mean,
Maybe 20 seconds.
I mean, it's about 40 years old, somewhere there.
Right.
So it's fairly new when you think Christmas songs, because Bing Crosby and
Right.
Bing Crosby's White Christmas was at number 4. I mean, that's been around since
The 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Is it, though?
Andy Williams.
Okay.
Number 5, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
Sure.
Coming in at number 6.
That was the early 60s.
Paul McCartney dodged a bullet with Wonderful Christmas Time.
See,
Not
huge
making
Beatle
the top
fan, just don't like that one.
Can't take
Yeah.
that one?
It's just, I don't know. It's just something about it. I don't know.
It's Wonderful Christmas.
There's a part, McCartney's a master musician, but there are some songs where I'm like, God, you're lazy. Where, wow. So, like,
Send your cards and letters to John King, who thinks
but
Paul McCartney is lazy.
It's just where it's kind of like, it's the same, it's just over and over. there's not really much lyrical
Is it
content
the
to
harp
it.
work? What's the? Is that a harp?
It's
or
like a synthesizer.
auto
I think
or
it's like
something? Yeah. That.
I don't know.
So now you know what the most hated Christmas songs are. As we get into today, we're going to take a look at, as John said, we'll talk with Rich Perlberg about the Jim Harbaugh situation. We'll take a look at our trivia in just a few minutes. And we have our Child of the Week with Orchard's Children's Services.
Yes, we do.
We do, don't we?
I guess.
But before we move a little forward, we should probably tell everybody about our good buddy Austin Lee. He's Lee Majors' son. No,
You
he's
weren't
not.
supposed to give that away.
He's a cross between Lee Majors and Denise Austin from the 80s and the 70s.
God.
So there you go. Actually, Austin Lee is from Orb Solutions. And Orb Solutions has been the key to the MikeandJohnPodcast.com website and anything technical because, as you guys know, we are not real technical.
What?
John's sort of technical. I'm like eons below that.
I had my moments.
You know? When we had to change the clocks, if it didn't have hands on it, sometimes I'm challenged. Like my watch.
Yeah.
Somehow it changed on its own this year, and I don't know if I did it accidentally or it changed on its own when we fell backwards. So, Austin Lee
Yes.
from Orb Solutions. If you or somebody you know needs a website redesign or a website design, good, honest, high integrity, Orb Solutions. The ones to look for. You can Google that. That's ORB Solutions. Do you know where the orb came from? Did Austin tell you?
I no. Is there? I didn't realize there was an origin story.
Of orb?
Yeah.
There is, and the way to find out is by getting a hold of Austin Lee from Orb Solutions. 'Cause I have no idea how he came up with
Oh,
Orb
I thought it
Solutions.
was. I thought
Maybe he
you,
like orb.
thought you
orb.
had a.
Maybe
a
he was
story.
looking at a lava lamp. Because when I think orb, I think of the lava. That's like an orb, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
Are you going to look that up?
I just want to
Use your technical skills.
What's that website again?
Orb Solutions.
What .com?
I think it's orbs.solutions.
Yeah.
Dot solutions.
I was listening.
Orb.solutions.
You know.
I didn't say it, so you couldn't. Yeah, I said it and you missed it.
Yeah,
We'll go with that.
You know, that's not the first time.
We're also going to look at our 2-cent history lessons.
No, that's
and
not
good
it
stuff
either.
today. No, those aren't. Those are different kinds of orbs.
Okay, I got to delete our
Delete the history.
browser history.
Well, who's checking up on us anyway?
Yeah, nobody.
HR?
No, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at our trivia question from last night. Of course, trivia brought to you by not Orb Solutions, our OG. That's OG sponsor.
Oh yeah.
Firehouse Doors.
Mike and Kim Witt with Firehouse Doors. They have been with us from the beginning, right out of the gate, right out of the garage door. Really.
Yeah, we went from the garage to the basement and started things out.
And of course, Firehouse Doors, unsurpassed in quality, service, equipment, maintenance. Give them a call, 810-599-7480.
All right, our trivia question from TNT, Thursday Night Trivia. 43% of women say they'd be less likely to date a guy with this problem. With this problem. What's the problem? What do you think the problem would be? There was a lot of great answers, by the way. Crazy X was a pretty popular guess, or X is. Still living at home with his parents. Or his mother.
Hello, mother.
There's some that said with parents, some said with his mother. What is that from? Excessive sweating. So,
Wait a minute. Now, hold on. Where's that from? You know where that's from.
hello, mother.
The classic movie Hollywood Nights.
Yes. Hello, mother.
We're not going to go into the scene where that came from, but I mean, we could.
Was it Dudley? What was it?
Dudley. I think it was Dudley,
I think his
yes.
name was, yes. Excessive sweating, said Amanda.
You'll have to Google it.
Amanda said excessive sweating. If he's a big sweater, just on the date.
Are you a big sweater?
If he's a sports bettor, said our good friend Christian, who stars in Rock of Ages, the CTH. See that yet? No?
Rock of Ages. Oh, no, I think it's a different show.
Yeah. Michelle said, thinking he's all that and a bag of chips, and don't forget the dip. Chimed in
No.
Laurel.
No.
Linda said sleep apnea. Now, let's say you're on your first date. How do you know this dude has sleep apnea? That's my question for Linda, who answered that.
Well, if you go back to his place and there's a CPAP machine.
CPAP. That's a real turn on.
Absolutely.
That's a real gal getter.
Hey,
Check out my CPAP.
check it out.
My friends call me Big C.
Don't tell him what the C stands for.
Renee said smoking. Eve said lots of children. Previously married to your friend, said Mary. Well, when you look at that, for just a second, hang with me on this for a minute.
Okay.
All right, so you're a woman. You date your best friend's old boyfriend or somebody she dated. Then you decide you're not going to go out with him again. What makes sense in that? Why go on the first date?
You never know.
Free dinner?
See what car he pulls up in.
Drug problem, said Laura. Biting his nails. A gambling addict, Jeff said. Yeah, if he's
Bet you I get you in the sack tonight.
DraftKings says, I just put 20 down on a good night. Karen said more than 2 X's. Let's see.
1. Okay, 2. All right, hold on.
Hey,
that's where you're like, I'm not going to be the third strike. Yeah.
Snorts and clears his throat, said Debbie.
Yeah, that's not good.
Is that a laugh snort? And a little, okay. Yeah, he's a noisy fella.
What if they shoot a booger out of one side? Hold on.
Oh, that was an end over ender. Did you see that?
That's nice shit.
No. Really bad grammar, said Lynn. An overbearing mother, said Beverly. Sharon said too short. None of those correct.
No.
I think we had some that were close.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a physical characteristic.
No, it really isn't.
Yeah.
Somebody said finances, and I think that would be probably the closest.
But not quite. I mean, it's something more specific about bad finances.
Well, bad credit is the correct answer. And really, how would you find that out on the first date unless the credit card kind of, hey,
well, you know what, though?
I got denied. Do you mind?
Well, that would be an obvious thing. But,
Yeah.
You know, a lot of with these apps now,
Oh, yeah, you
you
can
just
check
take their name and plug it in and, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. He has no credit. See ya. So that was our answer. Thanks to our friends at Firehouse Doors for sponsoring our trivia. We'll have another question coming your way Sunday night during SNT, Sunday Night Trivia.
Right. So last night I was able to MC the Arc Livingston's 30th annual fashion show and gala, and fine evening.
Did they determine it's gala, not gala?
You know, that's...
A lot of folks say it both ways.
yeah.
Sometimes
To
you'll
me,
hear
I mean,
some-
how do you say it?
I think it's gala.
I'd say gala, too.
But
That's what I said last
Some
night.
say gala.
I don't, gala.
It's a nice holiday gala.
How about a gala? No. It's a gala.
So how did it go?
It went very well. Excellent. I mean, lots of people there, and you know, very generous with their donations.
It's a long A. I just looked it up.
Oh, okay.
So see, there's a line over there.
I see that. Yeah. So it's a gala.
Yes, it's a gala.
Not a gala
Right.
or a gala.
That's what you should have gone French on them.
It's
Welcome
a
to
gala.
the gala.
It's a gala.
Gala. Would you
So-
like some cafe? Okay, so it went well.
It went well. Lots of people very generous with their donations for Arc Livingston, of course, an excellent organization. And I was happy to serve as the MC. I did get approached at one point by somebody who wanted to point out a situation
What kind of situation?
that they found interesting in Oceola Township, which has to do with an ordinance about the keeping of animals. So, and basically, what had happened was that the ordinance they'd passed this ordinance from the Planning Commission, but they completely removed all the regulations for the keeping of animals that are not part of agricultural use, not part of a kennel. So, like, you know, your domestic dogs and cats, like that, those are covered. That's not an issue. But anything beyond that. And so they basically had passed this ordinance, but they didn't have any regulations in it. And then somebody had noticed this, and so back on November 2nd, this is the Oceola Township Planning Committee. They passed this new ordinance. Proposed ordinance about the keeping of animals. and I thought it was interesting when I looked at it because basically, so whereas before there were no regulations, it's wide open. They said, well, we got to have some boundaries.
You could have any kind of animal you wanted, like a.
So they came in and they said, well, so they said, we're gonna prohibit exotic and wild animals. All right, and so they said elephants, rhinoceroses, hippopotamuses, and giraffes amongst the animals that you cannot keep in Osceola Township.
For those who wanted a hippopotamus for Christmas, Gala Peavy,
you're not going to get
it. You're not going to get it if you live in Osceola County. Osceola Township.
No, you're not. So
was there a problem with running rhinos in the neighborhoods?
It seemed to be a bit of a snapback. Like, hey, you forgot the regulations. Then when you put them in, basically.
Well, see, that's the thing. When you think of exotic animals, those are usually the ones you see in aquariums.
Right.
That aren't fish. Like snakes or reptiles.
I mean, I think that
some of those things are pretty ugly anyway. Why people want to have an iguana for a pet, I don't know.
Right. Well,
but that's you.
But that's more of a lizard is one thing. But some folks have they'll keep like exotic cats, like that are like wild cats, not kitty cats, but
barn cats aren't included.
No, but I mean, but if you had like a bobcat, for instance, something or
a fox
or a cougar. We have our own cougar, but she's suspended.
Yes.
So you will see instances where people are keeping these animals that you probably shouldn't be. That's more of a wild animal, and you need to have a special license or whatever, but all these other things. So you can understand that, but I don't know that there was a problem with rhinoceroses and elephants. It just seems like I don't know that you had to go that specific.
We're going to have to get the backhoe and a truck to take the rhino to the vet for his vaccinations.
But it is sad news that you no longer can keep rhinoceroses or elephants. Or hippopotamuses. Sorry, Gail Peavy.
That's what zoos are for.
I mean, honestly, or like a alligator farm. I mean,
true.
It tastes like chicken.
But they make good shoes and belts.
Oh yeah, sure. So, just something for you.
All right, are we going to chat with Rich today?
I don't know. Are we,
Mr. Perlberg?
I guess so.
Mr. Perlberg.
Hello, Mr. Perlberg.
Mr. P.
Mr. P.
The Big P. He doesn't. Oh, what if he's watching?
Good morning.
Is this the Big P? How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing good. You got me in the Christmas spirit here.
Oh, okay.
I'm singing Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I want the names of those people who don't want to hear All I Want for Christmas. They must be communists or something.
Yeah.
That's the greatest song ever.
Here's the thing with that song. At least it was a good video. It was up tempo. It was more fun than some that we.
Do you remember that movie? What was it called? Love Actually, whatever it was.
Yeah,
right.
And there's this little kid playing the drums because he's got a crush on a girl. Wasn't that All I Want for Christmas?
I think
so.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How can you not fall in love with that scene?
Yeah. Well, I heard too. Speaking of new Christmas songs, Bon Jovi I think has a new one that's being dropped today. That's how the kids say.
Oh wow, they're
dropping it today.
Wow, you are rad.
Oh god, yeah, we're so rad.
But it was before we get into more serious stuff. Crappy songs. How can Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives not be top?
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't that in Rudolph?
I don't know. It's a little bit creeper. There's a line where he says, "Somebody waits beneath the mistletoe. Kiss her once for me." Come on, Burl. Come on, Burl. That's a little bit
different time. It's a different time.
I kind of think of Sam the Snowman in that one and put Earl off to the side.
Well, that's all I got today. See you guys.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Bon Jovi's song is called "Christmas Isn't Christmas."
Oh.
So I haven't heard it yet, but it is being released today.
Okay.
Now we know.
All right.
All right. So what's Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah. What's his favorite song?
I don't know. Everything's changed since we decided to talk about that. The big court appearance he was going to have today, where he was going to speak his mind, is canceled. They're accepting the penalty. And
so let's rewind for just real quick in terms of how this all started. Of course, this whole scouting thing that had come out, and whether Connor Stallions,
stealing,
was.
It was Ryan Day's fault. Ryan Day's brother squealed on him and gave it to the NCAA, who gave it to the Big Ten. That's all you need to know.
Okay, so is this going to be handled like a mob thing?
like Detroit.
I mean, just so we get, you could rewind it, but just so we get clear ahead of time, I'm coming at this as a purely, totally biased Michigan fan. I'm not even pretending to be objective. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's why we call it. Yeah, we got that.
Well, because every Michigan fan is going to say, "Well, every team is doing this, so they're just picking on Harbaugh."
Yeah.
No, we all looked up due process too. We're all in favor of due process.
Well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of legal scholars suddenly.
Yeah, a lot of that online.
Now that we learned everything about COVID and vaccine, now we know about due process.
I did see something, and you're right. So they accepted this deal, and it looks like this is going to be resolved in that sense.
Maybe because the NCAA is still hanging out there. That's the other thing.
Right, but I think at least against Harbaugh specifically, it seems like you don't think. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, let me say this. I saw a comment from John U. Bacon, and he's obviously some very well versed in Michigan athletics, and he had said that he pointed out Harbaugh not being on the sidelines for Maryland, and then I forgot who they're playing the following week. Is it Penn State?
It's I don't know,
whatever it is. He said those two. He goes against Ohio State. He goes, that's an all hands on deck thing, and so for them to accept it and not really fight it, he thought was kind of significant, and he left it at that. It was a tweet, and so
and you get all this speculation here. Sometimes the simplest answer is can be the correct one. What relief could a judge give if you look at it? The Big Ten went out of its way to say we're not accusing Jim Harbaugh of anything. We have no evidence that said he had anything to do with this. We do know that it happened, and we have a sportsmanship rule that our commissioner can enforce. And a judge can look at it and say that's stupid, but there's nothing the judge can do. I mean, and I don't know if they want Harbaugh or others on court under oath giving testimony when the NCAA still has two investigations out there hanging over Michigan's head. That'd be my thought.
Right, and I think maybe that was the unspoken thought that John U. Bacon was making.
Seriously, what could the judge? What is Michigan's claim? That I mean, if Harbaugh had been accused by the Big Ten, that was all this due process stuff. Harbaugh hasn't been accused by him of anything. They're just saying you broke the sportsmanship rule. Whether you knew about it or not, we don't think you do. We don't have any reason to believe you knew about it, but you can't coach, which is a kind of a chicken. What's the word I can use? Way to do it. I mean, if they broke a sportsmanship rule, why not suspend him for the rest of the season? Why not ban Michigan from the championship game?
Oh please!
It looks like you're trying
to too much money that you want to lose.
Look how much exactly. Exactly, because if Michigan loses to Ohio State gets in the championship game and goes to the playoffs, which Big Ten gets his money. But if Michigan is banned and still beats Ohio State, then the Big Ten doesn't get anybody there. The Big Ten is walking a fine line, trying to protect its butts and pacify a bunch of coaches.
Well, how much do you think the threat, and it was never officially made, but it was bandied about when this was, kind of all up in the air, of that Michigan could leave the Big Ten?
Oh, that was BS.
I mean, I agree, but now think about how many teams but how many of those teams that they said, oh, they're never going to leave the Pac-12. Oh, they're going to stay, and they're all like, bye. And they all left en masse for different reasons, for completely different reasons.
What would Michigan do? They're going to join the SEC?
No, the MAC.
Yeah,
that way they'll be number one all the time.
So,
Wait next year when they don't win any more games this year. So next year they have to join a new league and they get their 1,000th career victory against Hope College.
Right. Well, wait a minute. What does Notre Dame do? No,
I mean, what
They're
do
not
they
in
do?
that.
yeah, I mean,
They're independent. They've got a relationship with the ACC.
right.
They
So
gotta play
couldn't
the ACC five?
U of
They
M could theoretically say we're such a powerhouse.
We're gonna annex ourselves.
You got to
such
cut
a
your nose to
name.
spite your face. The Big
Yeah.
Ten
Well,
is the most valuable
I agree.
brand in college football. That would make them feel good for 10 seconds, and then they say, "Oh my God, what have we done?"
But think about how many things we do so we can feel good for 10 seconds.
Well, can we do that here?
No, I'm just saying.
Moving along.
We-
So, and from the players.
again, won't we?
My wife's like 10 seconds.
Wow, really caught yourself as a marathon
Oh man,
man.
you're making me think of the Queen movie.
So
But don't you think it's motivated? Number one, it's motivated the players to play their
You think
butts
so?
off.
You play any sports? Does that motivation happen? I think it all goes away after the first time somebody smacks into you. Then you're just thinking about the game. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
I'd be very surprised if Michigan wins both of its next two games.
I mean, leading up to the
starting to
game,
take its toll.
just like all these bet T-shirts and free Harbaugh,
Right,
you know,
right.
all that stuff. The flags people are flying for that kind of stuff. I mean, the people that make that are rolling in the dough because everybody's gotten all their underwear in a bunch.
More to the
and-
point, do you know what bet even means? I mean, I am generations.
I would imagine it was because didn't one of the players put that out first,
Right.
like, bet on them to win.
like exactly. That's how I took it. That was my.
I don't think so. I think
all right,
I think
let's
our
get the
age is
research
showing.
team on that.
And then some.
Yeah,
But,
we're going to get the since it is the less you know, we'll get somebody else on this from the Googleverse,
Right.
And let us know what bet regarding to the whole
The
Harbaugh
thing is,
suspension.
and nobody will follow up on this. It'll all be forgotten. Harbaugh will be in the pros next year, and other stories will be going on. But the thing that gets me is, it looks to me like the Big Ten commissioner folded under pressure from other coaches who said, "Mom, he's still looking at me. Why aren't you going to do something?" And he had to do something without reaching and hurting Michigan's season too badly. If he does hurt it too bad, he's still got Ohio State, like I said.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So
what are you gonna
basically,
do?
this
You
is a
said-
Big
you
Ten
said sportsmanship
timeout.
matters, but here's the deal: Ohio State and Rutgers, there's evidence of this, shared Michigan's stolen signs with Purdue before the championship game last year. Is that good sportsmanship?
Well, that's sharing, and Mom said you should.
It's true. Mom
I
said.
mean, I just think it's a crazy story. I mean, here it is, what should be the apex of Jim Harbaugh's coaching career. He's
Right.
finally built Michigan up to perhaps one of the best teams in the country, and for half the games, he's not even on the sidelines.
Well, it gives people a distraction, just like the Taylor Swift and Kelsey thing in the pros. You know, it's something else to
I know not
be
what you
happier,
speak. Is that
sad
something
about.
going on?
Yeah.
Right. As best I can tell, is it's supposed to basically means challenge accepted. Bet. Like challenge accepted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
That's cursory. Cursory perusal through Google.
Challenge.
So
set.
do I have to say even more nonsensical things, because we've actually learned something here?
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be the less you know. So
I
what
guess
do we-
I don't know. I guess
it seems kind of silly. What gets me is the hypocrisy of it. Both the Michigan fans who go crazy, what about, and I'm like that. And whenever you hear the Big Ten or the NCAA say, well, we're all concerned about the health and welfare of our student athletes.
right.
That's the last thing they care
Oh
about.
God, yeah.
If you cared about their welfare, would you be sending volleyball players from Rutgers across the country to play Oregon?
on a bus.
Yeah.
Or you do your schedules to have one game in Illinois on basketball on Thursday night at 9:00, and then Saturday you're back in
Right.
Michigan for the noon game. I mean, this is all about the Bucks. This is all about the Bucks.
What?
Yeah,
You're telling me
yeah,
college
I know.
sports
I'm turning cynical in my old age,
as a
that's all.
profit motive? What?
Talking
What?
crazy talk, aren't you?
What is I can't believe this.
Well,
All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, what's your prediction for the game this
Yeah.
Saturday?
tomorrow or a week from Saturday?
Let's do both.
You know, when I first saw the schedule, this one is the proverbial trap game between Penn State and Ohio State, and they've got a good quarterback. And Michigan only beat them by a touchdown last year in Ann Arbor. That being said, I think Michigan not as great as they've done in through most of the year, but they probably win by a couple touchdowns tomorrow.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Now
we're
off next.
It's not a gimme game. I mean,
Yeah.
Maryland's got a great quarterback, and they're bowl bound this year. They're probably winning about 7-8 games this year, so they're not a terrible team. I am not, of course, I'm never that confident, but I'm not that confident about Ohio State.
Right.
Michigan they just haven't got that running game going. And although the passing game is fun to see, this game is usually settled by who beats up the other guy on the line.
So you don't have a prediction for when they take on Ohio State?
Not yet.
Okay, because we're off next Friday because it's the day after Thanksgiving. So
Okay. Then when I talk to you next, I'll give you my prediction.
okay, smart move. Smooth. It's very smooth. Hey, wait a minute. That exactly matches the score.
That's right.
No. I'll give a plus or minus.
Oh, okay, good. All right, yeah.
I got a plus or minus 2 points.
Cover your tracks, yeah.
Yeah,
of course. All right. Well,
I know. So, what do you guys think? I
think they're going to beat
Are you happy
Maryland.
that this has finally taken the attention away from Mel Tucker?
Yeah, it has actually.
No, you know what caught
You
my
know.
attention is and I forget his name, the guy who's filling in for Harbaugh,
Oh,
who's dropping.
I love his interview.
Oh my God! After the game, I'm like, did he just say that? Did he just say that? I'm like,
Over
whoa!
and over again.
Yeah.
And now he said he's had to apologize to his mother and his grandmother.
Well, he should. I get the emotion, but
there's no swearing in sports.
That's right.
Well,
that's why the coaches have that piece of paper in front of them all the time,
Yeah.
so they can say whatever they want.
Do you guys remember a guy named Eddie Brinkman?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The Tigers shortstop.
The Tigers won a division title like on the last game of the season, and TV hadn't been used to getting into the clubhouse, and he's in there, and he is just going on and on. He's the best stepping guys, so it happens.
well, all right. Well, I think they're going to roll over Maryland. I think you're being kind to Maryland by saying it's going to be just 2 touchdowns. I think they're going to beat Ohio State. Honestly, yeah.
It's like every game. I mean, I was disappointed in how they couldn't run against Penn State and how close and was, but that's how Ohio State played them too. So you just never know. Ohio State's they got a great receiver. I just wish Michigan was running the ball a little bit stronger.
All right, that's the less you know with Rich Perlberg. Enjoy the turkey and the Thanksgiving with family and friends. And
I shall, and hold on for my prediction.
All right, so
week
yes.
after that game,
Right.
I will nail it.
All right,
Friday,
sounds good.
December 1st. We will talk to you
Okay,
then.
All right,
sounds good,
All right.
guys.
All
Take
right,
care.
Rich, take care. All right, it's time for this week's Child of the Week from Orchard's Children's Services. And who do we have today?
Well, it's Christina. Christina's 13, describes herself as funny, active, outgoing, and caring. She has a very big heart and goes above and beyond for her family, friends, and team. She likes to get her nails done, ride bikes, go to the pool, play with animals, and spend time with her friends. She loves celebrating holidays, specifically Christmas, but also Easter and birthdays. Some of her favorites are, of course, let's see, math. Well, good for you, Christina.
You've got math envy. Don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Let's see, tackies and the color blue. I don't know what tackies are.
Tackies? I don't know either.
Takis. It's capital T, so that's an interesting thing. Christina wants a forever family that will let her be a kid and someone who loves her unconditionally. Of course, Christina, age 13, just one of the kids that Orchard's Family Services works with. And if you have interest in Christina or any of the kids, or just want to find out more, you can contact Orchard's Family Services, and you can just go on their website, orchards.org, and find out more.
All right, sounds good. Don't forget the Dio, the place to be for an upcoming holiday play,
Oh, it's upcoming.
which is called Christmas Caroled.
Yes, it's upcoming. Tonight is
That's
opening
right.
night
That's right.
of Christmas Caroled.
And as we talk about the Dio, I was looking at other things that may be entertaining to some folks. So you remember, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago when the Golf Channel came out and they said, we're going to have 24 hours, 7 days a week of golf stuff.
Right.
And we're thinking, nah, that's never going to fly. and it's still there.
Well, yeah.
When ESPN came out, and it's like, how much sports can you cover? Now we've got ESPN, 8, 9?
The Ocho.
something
The Ocho.
like that. Well, Pluto TV. You ever watched Pluto?
I do.
They have, they've launched, there's also Pluto TV and Local Now, I guess, is one of their sister stations.
Okay.
They've launched a 24/7 car chase channel showing nothing but car chases. The best car chases you can find will be on Pluto TV
All right, then.
and Local Now.
Now, I like Pluto TV because they have an all Star Trek channel, which they rotate between the original series, Next Generation, and all the other ones.
I didn't know they had
So,
all these other things they
Well,
rotate.
the thing is so Pluto TV, it's an app more or less you download to your smart TV, and then it acts like a cable station, or it acts like cable TV because it's got all these channels, but there's commercials and you can't pause it. So unlike Netflix or Hulu, where you can watch a program and pause it, anytime you want, and you
These
can pay
they
to-
run like a regular
They run
cable
it
show.
right. And here's the schedule. You tune in, and but it's all in one app. And so there's sometimes where you're just like, I'll just pretend it's the 1990s again, and I'm watching cable.
The channel says it'll include live feeds of real-time car chases, plus a curated list of some of the best car chases from local news stations
Oh.
around the U.S.
You can localize it.
It's not just the fancy
right.
car chase scenes you see in movies. These are real-time, real-life. They said there are over 10,000 car chases every
Right.
year in California alone.
Well,
so they've got plenty of
Yeah.
footage.
California is because the LA news stations there are in heavy competition, and so they all have multiple choppers. And so when there are these car chases, and I know that I want to say that there was a show that had most of these chases on them anyway. So it seems to me like they're kind of like
These are real
where they're
time, though.
recycling them.
They're real time. So they could say, we're over here in LA.
Right.
And we've got this. Let's go to
Okay.
New York and check out that car
That's
chase.
interesting. All right.
Let's go to
That's-
96 in
that's-
Livingston County.
That's interesting and yet also disturbing.
That-
There's something about that you go, I don't know.
Am I really that bored that
Yeah.
I'm sitting there
Well-
watching? Look at when they were chasing OJ and everybody was just watching that for hours on end and ordering pizza.
Now that we
sad
have
was.
AI, once they start applying AI, maybe you can do like different endings to the OJ chase.
Or-
Here's one where OJ
how he-
fights it
How
out.
he thought it should have ended.
Here's one where he jumps over, like Dukes of Hazzard. Here's one, I don't know.
So if you're looking for a unique night out, look no further than The Dial, not Pluto TV.
No, and in fact, I would say that when you're sick of TV and you want some, unique quality live entertainment.
They offer unforgettable food and beverages, Broadway-style entertainment, and as we said, Christmas Caroled starts today and has a run through the holiday.
Right.
All right, The Dial. You can find out more by going to their website or order your tickets, diotheater.com. That's theater with an R-E.
That's fancy.
Yes, it is. Very fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Very fancy. By the way, did your tux fit okay? Because I made a suggestion to Rick, knowing that
Oh, that was your fault?
that one leg a little shorter than the other just for fun.
I wonder who did that.
Just for fun.
It's like, hey. No, Brighton Tux always does a great job.
Yeah, they do. Rick takes care of everybody.
He was up north for deer season when I went to go pick it up.
Not Webbit season.
So, no. But
All right. It's time for a 2-cent history lesson for this week. Isn't it?
it is.
All right, well, hold on. I got to check the show run.
No.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
My
No,
phone
you were
faded.
right.
All right. Had a phone
Yeah,
fade.
you
Just
were
had
all
to
over
double check.
it.
All right. This week, the week of the 10th through the 17th, in history, 1841, the first life jacket was patented. The first life jacket was patented. I'm hoping the first guy that tested it knew how to swim just in case.
Well, yeah.
Or the ones before that, the guy knew how to swim. The original Coke bottle was patented this week in 1915.
With the twist, the twisty glass.
Yeah. Still classic. And with the green tint.
I miss the
I kind of
glass.
like the green tint.
They don't have them. You can buy them now, but they're the little teeny bottles. I don't like them.
Too cutesy.
Yeah.
Don't get enough pop. 1937, the first congressional session in air-conditioned chambers was held on this week.
See,
1937.
If you keep them too comfortable, you probably maybe they turn off the AC.
Well, here's the thing. The first session in air conditioned was used in mid-November.
Oh.
Doesn't that just seem a little odd? Maybe they just tested it and they said, all right, everybody get in here. We're going to turn this thing on.
Right. Well, I'd be wary if they...
1937.
Hey, all you Congress people, come in here.
Yeah, we're going to turn this machine on.
Yeah, we're going to turn this machine on. I'd be a little wary about that.
1952, false fingernails were sold for the first time. Those Lee Snap-on nails?
Yeah.
Press-on nails?
Press-on
Press-on
nails. Yeah, the old press-on nails.
Doesn't that seem odd? Don't you think they're... Maybe they just went mass market, but don't you think there was fake fingernails before then? Maybe not available.
I'm not up on my false fingernail history. I'm sorry.
That was your pre-goth years. 1963, the touch-tone phones were introduced.
Now, you had to be pretty fancy high up, official to have a touch-tone in
was
63.
63, yeah. Because I'm trying to remember when we got our phone.
I think we got ours in like 80.
80?
I want to say like 80, 81, somewhere in there. I just remember. Yeah.
That little arm at the end where your fingers...
Right,
the finger stopper.
the metal thing, yeah.
Yeah, that has to have a name.
Finger guard.
The stopper. 1968, NBC this week cut away in the final minutes of the New York Jets Oakland Raiders game to begin a TV special, Heidi.
Yeah, that was not a good idea.
Raiders came from behind and beat the Jets 43-32. Football fans angry as they could be.
What do you mean?
For Heidi. 1971, the invention that made personal computers possible was made public this week when Intel introduced a single microchip that contained an entire central processing unit, the CPU.
Oh.
And then it made that sound.
The old CPU.
The Intel sound. That was 1971. 20 years later, in 1991, folks who were watching Herman's Head.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Herman's Head?
I do.
It was on Fox TV.
Yeah.
The first TV commercial for condoms aired in the U.S. during Herman's Head.
How ironic.
Hello, Mother?
Herman's Head.
And people were upset about that.
Well, people get upset about
Wow.
a lot of things.
And finally,
They should have been upset about Herman's Head, frankly.
I don't think I ever watched that show.
I remember seeing an episode or
I
two
don't
and being
know.
like, okay, I'm done.
Couldn't even tell you. It was probably along.
You know what it was?
Max Headroom.
It
or
was
something.
it was like there were characters that were living in this guy's head, and they would, he would live his life, and then they would go inside his head, and there'd be all these characters. You know what it was? It was like Friends inside someone's head.
Ah.
So
Wasn't that like Martin on Showtime? Was there a show called Martin or something that was similar to that?
I don't remember.
Something like that.
By the way, I did look it up. The little metal piece.
Yes.
Its official name is the finger stop. So
They went high tech on that.
now you know.
That's the finger stop.
Yeah, that's the old finger
For
stop.
you kids who have never seen a rotary phone.
Oh, God.
And finally, 2013 this week, Sony launched the PlayStation 4, selling 1 million units on the first day, just in time for your holiday shopping.
PlayStation 4. Losers.
And you probably may be able to find one of those in a basement with a lot of dust on it now.
Well,
PlayStation 4.
well, sure.
There you go.
If you really want to upset a current gamer, if you were to say,
PS4.
you got a PS4, you want to play?
What is the latest?
I don't even know. My kid would know. I have no idea. Because I'm like, I remember my kid asked me not that long ago, they're like, well, what kind of games do you like? I go, I just play the apps on my phone if I play anything. They're like, well, what? I go, Scrabble. The look of disgust on their face was, like, oh my God.
Scrabble.
Like, are you really my dad?
Right,
And they kind of looked at my wife, and then I didn't like the way that they kind of exchanged glances. But anyway.
They look at you like you're kind of old, as if you said backgammon.
Yeah.
I'm playing backgammon. I'm backgammon.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad. I remember, yeah.
No, not backgammon too. Oh,
No. I remember my grandpa played backgammon, and I would be like,
that would say
I would be
old.
like, oh God, backgammon.
If you start
really?
playing backgammon, you're probably old. If you know how to play backgammon, it's like, what are you doing? Oh, going over our friend's house to play Yahtzee.
Hey, I like Yahtzee. It's okay.
All right, good to know.
Whether it's current or vintage, and we could be talking about a game. We also could be talking about a vehicle.
Sure.
Murphy's Family Auto can handle it all.
If
Tune
the
ups.
Partridge Family lived here, they'd bring the bus
Yes, they would.
over there. Come
Right.
on, get happy.
Well, sure.
At Murphy's Family Auto.
Everything, for trucks, cars, they can take care of it.
Taxis like Reverend Jim's.
Yeah, I don't know.
take care of that one, too.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Might smell a little funny.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd look behind the seats. Hey, look at this. Give them a call, 517-552-3040. Check them out online, murphysfamilyauto.com.
All right. Is it time for the last word?
I think it is.
All right. With the great Bonnie Runyon. Well, remember last week I had to translate the final word, the last word.
Right, but we think we have.
I think we have.
I think we'll have an actual.
Bonnie today.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
She hasn't canceled on us yet. And we didn't have to suspend her.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Bonnie.
How are you guys? Are you all ready for Thanksgiving?
Well,
I think so.
sure. What do? We just show up and eat. But
That's our job.
That's your job. Somebody has to do it, right?
How about
Right.
you? Are the whole Runyon crew coming to your place or?
No.
No?
No. I get to go to my grandson, Evan and Shelby's.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 All right.
So
So
anyways,
what's the last word today?
well, the last word today is similar to before, but it's peaceful. I mean, we're coming across Thanksgiving. A week from right now, Thanksgiving will be over for 2023. May everybody have a blessed, peaceful Thanksgiving.
So no fighting with the family and
yeah,
don't hurt anybody in that
No.
family football game.
no,
Just make it peaceful.
No,
right.
peaceful.
All right.
Fair
Well
enough.
said, Bonnie. All right. Well, you have a peaceful and wonderful Thanksgiving with the family and say hi to all the Runyons for us.
I will do that, and you all too.
All right,
Bonnie.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. The final word, peaceful. You heard it. We have to be peaceful,
Oh,
friendly,
all right.
all that kind of stuff. And we have to be out of here in a few minutes. So
All right.
it's probably time for that
I think we
theme
should
song.
let's just wrap it up now.
You want to fade to black?
Who's Metallica coming?
They've already been.
Yeah. Well, then there you go.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.